After an uneventful 38-minute flight via airways, the aircraft was cleared for the VOR runway 24 approach to Moosonee. After flying the procedure turn, the crew intercepted the 061 radial inbound and initiated a descent to the MDA of 440 feet. During the descent, the aircraft broke through the cloud layer at 900 feet MSL and approximately 9 miles from the airport. Since both pilots had the runway lights in sight, the captain decided to transition to a visual approach and proceed inbound to runway 24 at 700 feet MSL. Unfortunately, the aircraft's descent was never arrested. The aircraft impacted the ground at an elevation of 20 feet MSL, 7 miles east-northeast of the Moosonee airport. The captain and passengers were seriously injured, and the co-pilot was killed. After a thorough investigation, the Transportation Safety Board concluded that both pilots succumbed to a dangerous distortion of reality known as the black hole illusion. When a night approach is made over unlighted terrain, as was the case on this flight, the black area in the foreground causes the bright runway lights in the distance to appear lower than they really are. This gave the pilots the impression that they were higher than they really were. In fact, the captain later stated that he believed the aircraft was at an altitude of 700 feet MSL at the time of the impact. The captain also indicated that the last altitude call he received from the co-pilot was at 800 feet MSL, 100 feet above the intended level-off altitude. With no help from the co-pilot, the captain continued to fly solely with visual reference to the runway lights. The lighting system at Moosonee was limited at best with no approach lighting and no visual approach slope indicator system. Research indicates that without cross-referencing the altimeter, the environment the pilots were operating in was one in which virtually no detectable rate of descent could be discerned through visual clues. The crew was further disadvantaged by the fact that the aircraft was not equipped with an altitude alerter, radio altimeter, or GPWS. Still, the primary defense should be situational awareness. Had the crew simply been more cognizant of their CFIT risk, they may have been more attentive to their altitude. Flight Safety Foundation's CFIT checklist can be particularly helpful in identifying any deficiencies and potential risks in your operation.